Chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably aren't a profitable trader yet. And if you are, you know what I'm saying, salute to you. But I wanted to make this video for all the traders that have either beginning trading or they've been trading for a long time and they haven't yet seen profitability, they haven't yet seen success, they haven't yet gotten that payout, and they're trying to figure out the few things that they can do or the one or two things they can do just to kind of get over that hump and get better and become profitable in trading. This came up from one of my mentees that's a part of my community. I asked everybody to just drop some questions that I can create YouTube videos on, and this is one of the topics that they asked me to do. They said, you know what I'm saying, like the people that aren't profitable with trading or trading the strat or whatever that looks like, what would I say to those people so that I can help them become profitable? And I got a few things for you guys, so I hope you guys stick around to the end. I got a couple of different topics and stuff like that. Three that I have for you guys. And the third one is actually going to be really beneficial, so make sure you stay to the end. But the first one is you don't know what type of trader that you are, right? So a lot of traders, I don't know if you've been through this before, but you start trading and you get a mentor, you join a group or something like that, and then they teach you and they make you trade the way they trade. So let's say they're a scalper, right? And let's say you're a pretty patient person and stuff like that, and you have certain qualities of somebody that might be a swing trader or somebody that holds trades longer, but you join or learn from somebody and their main thing is scalping, and they only do the 15-second or the 30-second or the 1 minute, and they're only on those time frames. And they're like, the only way to be profitable, the only way to be successful is to trade the way I trade, right? That will not be conducive to your journey, right? You cannot put okay, watch this. You cannot put a bird in the ocean and turn it to swim, and you can't take a fish and put it in the sky and tell it to fly. Like, you need to be in the environment and in the strategy and in the style that fits you. So again, you can't copy strategies that like don't match your personality. So even when people come and I'll teach them, right? I don't teach them how to trade like me because I have different characteristics and personality that might not match up with them. So that's why I have the archetype things and stuff like that that I created to discern, okay, bet, what type of trader are you? Because I've had, for example, one of my mentees, I will say this about myself, I am more fearful than I am greedy, right? So I'm more to cut a trade fast or get out of a trade for a quick loss and stuff like that and then be willing to re-enter the trade rather than holding a trade for a big loss, right? That's my personality as a trader. But there's also some mentees that I have, they willing to hold that trade. They don't care. They let that thing, oh, it's in drawdown. I'm gonna still hold it. I'm gonna still thug it out. Then they go in my direction. I'm gonna let it cool, right? That's them, right? And you can create strategies and stuff like that to accommodate. But the first thing is you need to know what type of trader that you are. So just ask yourself these questions. Okay, are you patient, right? Or do you feel like you're a little bit impatient, right? Do you feel like you overtrade? Or do you over leverage? Like, what issues or what strengths do you have as a trader? So I'll put it to you in this example. If you have a problem with over trading, right, but you don't really like holding trades for a really long time, you want to make your move and make profit and stuff like that, and maybe do that in a day, then you might need a day trade, but you will do it instead of doing it on like the 1 minute time frame and stuff like that. Switch to the 5 minute. So all my 1 minute traders, if you struggle with over trading or taking too many trades on the 1 minute, go to a higher time frame and still take the same setups that you're looking for, but just do those on a higher time frame. That way it'll allow you to hold your trades longer. And that'll just be a little bit more beneficial for you as a trader. So that's just something that you can do, right? So that's the first thing. But the second thing is most people think they're mastering setups, but you not like, I'll say it like this. You think you're supposed to be mastering setups when you're actually supposed to be mastering yourself. So every time like I'm teaching somebody, right, whether it's the strat or the actionable signals, it's the actionable signals are simple for the most part. Like you don't even need to like really learn all of them. You could just pick one and then just master that, right? So the failed twos of everybody that trades the strat, I love the failed twos, right? Those are my favorite actionable signal. I can spam those all day long and I love them, right? But the failed twos don't matter if I'm not actively working on myself. So for example, if I have the right entry, but I'm not disciplined enough to take it, what is the point, right? So let's say you have capital in your account, right? And you see these setups and stuff like that. So if you have a problem with either you see a setup and you don't take it, or you see like an opportunity and stuff like that in the market and you don't take it, or you take it, but you take it with too much size. So when you take it with too much size, you end up cutting the trade too early. And then when you cut the trade too early, then the move will go against you a little bit, and then it'll start going in your favor. And then you'll see how much you could have made on that trade. And you'll be like, dang it, if I had a held, or dang it, I should have like sized down and stuff like that, but you didn't, right? Your emotions are running the show of your trading, right? You haven't built the habits around consistency. And even if like taking a break from the market all the time, you don't have to be in the market all day. I don't be in the market all day 24/7, right? I might be in there for the morning time, and sometimes I'll hold it like and go into the 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock session if I'm holding a trade long. But outside of that, I'm staying in the morning time, and that's it. And I'm cool with that. I can make my money in that, and then I'll go about my day, right? The market exposes your character. The market exposes who you are, not your skill set, right? The skill set is something you can develop just through repetition and having the ability to do it. But what do you do when the pressure comes on, right? So again, this is why like I hope like I focus on telling people like, yo, like you can know what to do, but you either need to hold yourself accountable or have somebody else hold you accountable, because accountability is key. You can have a list of chores to do, but if you're not, watch this, holding yourself accountable, or you don't have parents or somebody in your corner holding yourself accountable to that, whether you like it or not, because you know that when you get these things done, when you follow your plan, when you execute the way you're supposed to, you will reap a reward, like sometimes to the tune of a couple thousand, sometimes like the big boys, they're doing it with a couple 100,000, couple million, right? Then you'll actually prioritize that, and you'll actually be better off when you do that, right? So again, the first thing is just making sure that you know what type of trader that you are. And then the second thing is prioritizing on bettering yourself after you've also learned a pretty simple strategy, right? When you do those things, it'll just help you be better. And the third thing that I want to talk about, and this is the last thing, and this is the most thing that people overlook, right? They come into trading, and I've had this so many times. They try to, what most of the time people over leverage or oversize or over trade, or they come into trading expecting to be the best in the least amount of time. They want to be a doctor in a week. They want to be an engineer in 2 weeks. And it's like, trading is the one profession that people join and they want to be successful as fast as possible. And it's not like that. It's just like any other profession, but if anything, it's actually better only because there's a multiplying factor to having the skill of trading. Doctors, engineers, and lawyers and stuff like that, their skill set, right? Your skill set. So if you're watching this, your skill set is tied to the time that you put in. Trading is a multiplying effect. I have a multiplying effect for the trades that I take. There's nothing different for me. Let's say I take a reversal setup, right? And I catch on futures, let's say I catch 50 points, right? And do the math on this, you can check this, right? If I catch 50 points and I do this, or $50, like a $50 move, and I'm trading 1 NQ, then I made $1,000 on that trade. If I use 10 NQ, then I made $10,000 on that trade. If I use 100 NQ, then I made $100,000 on that trade. Nothing changed about how I executed. Nothing changed about the amount of work that I had to put in on myself. It was simply just increasing the amount of contracts and taking the same trade. That is the power of trading. Trading has a multiplying, compounding effect, and the work externally, physically doesn't change, but the work in your mind, the work mentally has to change. So this leads me to the last point. That is the reason why most people are not successful. They're not profitable as a trader. But if they can get through this mental block, then they'll be able to reach that. And that thing is, you're trying to get rich from one trade instead of 100, right? So here's what I mean by that. You will over leverage, right? You want that big trade, that big winner. Like once that thing hits, I'm going to make this much money. And then once I make this much money, then I'm going to be able to pay all these bills and pay all this stuff and do all these things and go on this trip and go on here and then pay down these student loans. You're trying to succeed fast, but you're not willing to do that over a long period of time. So watch this. When you optimize, watch this. When you optimize for trying to be successful in the shortest amount of time, then that is exposing the fact that you're not willing to be consistent. If you're trying to succeed fast, that means that you're unwilling to be consistent. Because watch this. If you say, I want to be successful, watch this, I want to hit this big winner in one trade, that means that you're not willing to be diligent over 10 trades. If you're trying to do it in 5 trades, and that means you're not willing to be diligent over 50 trades. Right? You want to chase lottery plays. You want to get that 1,000%er or this huge big win and stuff like that and risk the least amount as possible in order to get that thing because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can compound over a long period of time. You don't believe that you can stack, like take trading, get the skill set, get through your mind, like how to mentally be in the place where you can show up day in and day out to be successful in the market. And you don't believe in that. You care more about being rich right now than compounding that over the course of a year, over the course of 5 years, over the course of 10 years. You don't want to, watch this, you don't want to know how to trade. You want to know how to make a lot of money fast, right? And that will hold you back the most, because in order for you, like, let's say everybody here, if you have a goal, for example, of I want to make $10,000 a month trading, that's fine. If you want to make $10,000 a month trading, guess what? You can do it. You can do it. You can make that. You can make $50,000 a month. You can make $100,000 a month. But you know the most important part of $10,000 a month is a month part. $10,000 a month is not $10,000 in this 30-day period and then I'm done. You want to make that every month. So watch this. In order for you to do that every month, then that would mean that you would need to be consistent. That would mean you have to have the mindset of consistency. So that would have to mean that, okay, bet, I'm not just doing this set of rules or this strategy and stuff like that one time to make this big amount of money. I'm doing this expecting and thinking about the long-term ramifications of me showing up in this market and compounding. Because if you think consistently, like, watch this, if you allow your mind to think from a consistent standpoint, then that's how you can unlock the compounding effect that trading gives you. Because compounding doesn't happen fast. It actually happens slowly in the beginning, and then it doubles and doubles and doubles on top of itself over time. Matter of fact, I want you guys to look up, if you double a penny for 30 days, right? How much do you think you'll have? Most people think, like, I might have $100, or I might have $1,000, or I might have like $10,000 maybe. Like, it'll compound and stuff like that, and I'll make a pretty decent amount of money, right? So you can actually compound it, and you can make, matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. All right, boom, so I found it. So a penny double every day. So day 1, you start at a penny. Day 2, you got 2 pennies. Day 3, you got 4 cents. Day 4, you got 8 cents. Day 5, you got 16 cents. Day 6, you got 32 cents. So literally, day 7, you got 64 cents. So literally in a week, you don't even have $1 yet. In a week, you don't even have $1 yet. Day 8, you got $1.28. Day 9, you got $2.56. Day 10, you got $5.12. Day 11, $10.24. Day 12, $20. Day 13, $40. Day 14, $81. So you, okay, bet. Now you looking a little bit better, $81 in 2 weeks. But that's still, but watch this. Most of y'all will quit in 2 weeks because you trading, you only made $100, or you only made $200, or you only made $300. You only. You see that word, you only? That means, watch this. That you only for the first 14 weeks will keep you from 22 more weeks. Day 28, 28. So 7 days is a week. Times 4 is 28. So that's about a month, roughly about a month. So literally 2 weeks will keep you from a month. 2 weeks of only making $81 will keep you from 1.3 million. Because it goes from 81 to 163, then 327, then 655, then 1300, then 2600, 52, 10,000, 21,000, 41,000, 83,000, 167,000, 300,000, 600,000, 1.3 million, 2 million, 5.3 million. So 1 penny doubles, compounds on itself every single day, turns it to 5.3 million. That is the power of compounding. And that is the power of what it can do for you in trade, especially what it can do for you in trading. But the key for you to unlock that is to unlock in your mind what it takes to be successful over a long period of time, not a short period of time. So again, the first thing, you need to figure out like what your archetype is, like what fits your personality as a trader. Number 2, you need to, once you understand the setups and stuff like that, you need to focus on disciplining yourself to becoming a better version of yourself and mastering yourself. Don't over leverage, don't over trade. Like, get past that stuff, get past the fear, get past the greed, so that way you can show up the way you need to show up in the market. And then number 3, stop trying to get rich in one trade. Be willing to be consistent over a long period of time and focus on 100 trades instead of 1. If you can identify how you're going to show up over the next 100 trades, because again, if you can take a penny and double that every single day for 30 days and turn that into 5.3 million, imagine what you can do over 100 trades if you were to show up every single trade and compound based on a good strategy and a good execution. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope it was helpful. These are 3 things you can use to become a profitable trader. It doesn't matter if you're trading futures. It doesn't matter if you're trading Forex. It doesn't matter if you're trading options or stocks. If you apply these 3 things, I promise you, you will be a better trader. So I hope this video was helpful for you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get it.